Alright guys, I hope you're all doing well, and welcome to this community showdown. It's going to be the Chaos Dwarfs led by the dim-witted one, facing off against the Sons of Sigmar, who shall be helmed by Galju here on the Haunted Vale with some Khorne corruption on it. Very, very cool variant map. And it is going to be a big gunline fight. So for the Sons of Sigmar, it is going to be 1, 2, and 3 Hellblaster volley guns. Pretty hog wild, and yeah, they can do great damage against armor, but are going to be vulnerable at getting shot at by things like Deathreak rocket launchers, dove by Wolf Riders. Again, Empire does have Empire Knights to protect them, as well as nets on Marcus, but still tricky to protect this much artillery. We do also have the Hammer of the Witches. This is a good inclusion, because this will give you some counterfire against the Chaos Dwarf artillery. However, on this map, the Chaos Dwarves do have some good tricks for hiding that artillery. You can deploy them over here on this objective near 3 here, put them behind the trees, and they can shoot up and over depending on the range. So yeah, the Empire Army is a triple Hellblaster volley gun, Hammer of the Witches, Mass Spearmen with shields, a Gold Wizard with Final Transmutation, and Searing Doom with Marcus Wolfheart with the net to protect the artillery, and that's pretty much it. So just got to be trying to use mass amounts of Hellblaster fire to put the hurt down on these bad boys and see what is cooking. Now, for the Dowie Czar, Hobgoblin Wolf Riders with bows, very, very meta, good for getting up and grabbing objectives quickly, and aside from that, it's going to be a great Taurus, as well as the Sorcerer Prophet of Hashut, who is going to be using Flames of Asgore, a good spell for actually taking out artillery as well. Chaos Dwarf Warriors, Unpaid Interns, and Double Deathreak are going to be deployed in the trees, and yeah, they're okay in the Empire matchup. A little bit vulnerable to being counter-artillery, but if you play the map correctly, put them back here, they can do well. You can also kind of shoot out of the trees with these things, although something is hitting this. Is that actually... What the hell just hit this thing? It took a little bit of damage right there. I don't think it was the cannon. Let's see. Yeah, the Hammer of the Witches, I'm not sure what it's shooting at right now. I think it should be out of range as it currently stands. Looks like it's maneuvering right now. Must have been one of those cannonballs. All right, guys, so the Hellblaster volley guns are singing in the deep, and they are mowing down some goblins over here. So fire, reload, fire. And Hobgoblin Riders, a couple of them getting mowed down. Truly last samurai by those Hellblaster volley guns. While Marcus Wolfheart could be baiting out enemy ammunition, and I think that the Bale Tauruses, including the character, are both a little bit nervous about advancing on this Empire line. Getting netted by Marcus and focus fired by 3 Hellblaster volley guns as well as a cannon could end your career very, very quickly. So one Great Taurus going to be creeping around the outside, and it looks like Galju is going to be calling in Outriders and decent armor-piercing fighters, but they're going to need a little bit of help. They can't kite like Pistoliers can, and I think Pistoliers would probably be okay against a Great Taurus, although it does have 50 armor and some missile resist. But one Hellblaster volley gun going to be turning about face, ripping big shots into the Taurus, while the haggard line of Unpaid Interns do advance. The Hellblaster definitely should be shooting at the Chaos Dwarf Infantry, not at the Unpaid Interns here, but we will see if the targets are going to be reacquired here in a second. And the cannon should also probably be shooting at the Sorcerer Prophet. That would be the correct play. But here we do see some decent value coming out of the Empire. Nice net coming down from the Huntsman, the Hunts Marshal, and the Hellblaster volley gun, as well as the Outriders, getting some good volley fire. And the Beast is truly being hunted here, as this bad boy might actually be breaking in a second, and it looks like he is going to break and run. So if Galju just simply uses these Outriders to chase this Great Taurus off the battlefield, he's going to be living his best life. Now, nice play right there by the Chaos Dwarves, using the Flames of Asgore to pound this Hammer of the Witches. It does destroy one of the cannons and also sends the crew packing, and now the Sorcerer Prophet might be able to outmaneuver the Hellblaster volley guns and weasel around the battle lines and potentially get another volley of the good old Flames of Asgore here in a second. So the main lines are going to be clashing soon. Chaos Dwarves do get that triple cap, and that is one of the dangers, of course, of playing a triple Hellblaster volley gun build. Is you are going to get stuffed back. The whole idea is you get a lot of value, and then you're going to be able to win in the late game. So both Hellblasters are going to be zeroing in on the Sorcerer Prophet. He's certainly in the danger zone. Looks like Home Dog's thinking about using some sort of a breath attack here in a second. Oh, he's going to get nailed by a Final Transmutation. All right, Big Dog is getting it pretty bad from all that focus fire, and now is going to be trying to micro away as the Hellblaster volley guns do unleash a massive salvo of fire, and that Sorcerer Prophet gets his bread buttered pretty bad. Now, the Deathreakers are now in range, and they do have 420 range, 420 Blaze It Bro, and the Hellblaster volley guns only have 290. So the Deathreakers, over the course of a long game, might be able to take down all these Hellblaster volley guns. We're going to see if it's going to be enough, as the Sorcerer Prophet is actually shattered. He went too greedily and too deeply in enemy lines, and the Great Taurus also got forced back as well, but this still isn't going to be easy for the Empire. They're going to have to get past a lot of these Chaos Dwarf infantry, and they are going to be coming into an artillery kill box eventually as well. So advancing up our Chowie Warriors here on this side, the Chaos Dwarf Warriors taking down the Spearmen with relative ease. And yeah, I mean, there's going to be a couple fights that are lost for the Empire here. Looks like the Deathreakers are shooting into the Gold Wizard now, so going to be trying to shut down the Harry Potter, changing their mind after targeting the volley guns for just a moment. Hellblaster volley guns, let's get you guys a sweet cinematic shot. It's going to be repositioning here. It takes a moment. Is this a Nuln color scheme? I think it is Nuln, right? Could be wrong, but oh, such a cool piece of equipment, man. Yeah, mowing down some goblins. Goblins going to be intercepting the Outriders there, so nice pick. Meanwhile, on the outside objective, we see the Sons of Sigmar advancing with a couple Spearman units. Now, the correct play for a dim-witted one would be to use the Hobgoblins to just kind of circle around the objective and delay the cap for as long as possible. Each of these Spearmen have 5 capture weight. The Goblins have 4 on the Wolf Riders, and they could delay it for a long time, but retreating off the objective is going to be giving that to the Empire very quickly. And I don't know if the Chaos Dwarf Infantry will get there quick enough. Yeah, there's going to be some Empire Knights coming out there as well. So one objective is going to be going to the Empire. Aside from that, the artillery is mostly online, but there is going to be a problem for the Empire here in a minute. Once these Chaos Dwarves get through these Spearmen, which it's not going to be too much longer now, they will be able to potentially press in and shut down 2 of the Hellblasters. That's why they should be spread out a little bit more, or the Empire is going to need to call in some Greatswords or Empire Knights to keep these guys in check. Elsewhere, the Empire advancing up out here. Grenade launchers are, decent against armored infantry. Even though it doesn't, say, armor piercing on the tooltip, I find in my experience that they still do pretty good against armored units and are worth bringing. But yes, the Empire is going to be getting this objective here. We see the Militia and the Free Company moving up to the point, while the Deathreakers are going to be shooting into the Spearmen, it looks like. Yeah, they're just kind of going after the infantry blobs, which isn't a terrible idea. Although, honestly, going after the, finishing off this Hellblaster, maybe rotating over to the other Hellblasters would give you a better chance of getting back in the game, but it's still a close enough game. I mean, 4.4 for the Empire against 3.2, with a big points lead for the Dowie Tsar, and the Dowie Tsar do have some advantages on the infantry game. We'll see how it plays out. All right. Sorcerer Prophet's back. Flames of Asgore are going to be pretty punishing. And now this is exactly what we're talking about here, right? The Chaos Dwarf Infantry finally breaking through, getting an opportunity to shut down these. And this is how the Chaos Dwarves get back in the game. They break through the front lines of the State Troopers. And, losing 2 Hellblaster volley guns here to just like a 600 gold infantry unit is going to be very rough. And I think this Hellblaster is actually trying to turn around to take shots at these infantry that are deep in the backfield. But yeah, the other Sorcerer Prophet can now get in, use Flames of Asgore as well as Terror, and I think he's on a Great Taurus. Is it a Bale Taurus? Let me go ahead and check. I think that is just the Great Taurus. Yeah, it's not the Bale Taurus, but Home Dog there is doing what he can, breaking back some of the Spearmen, advancing up our unpaid interns, and the capture weight does go back to the Chaos Dwarves here. Meanwhile, on the other side, Outriders are shooting into, I think, some running Orc Laborers, but they should definitely run up and put a little bit of pressure on these Deathstreakers if they can. On the side objective, it is owned by the Empire, but the Chaos Dwarf Infantry and the Wolf Riders will be problematic. I mean, because Chaos Dwarf Infantry, you need some armor piercing to get through them. They have 44 melee defense, 85 armor. They can fight Spearmen all freaking day. I'm pretty sure one Chaos Dwarf Warrior would be able to take 2 Spearmen units. Although if he's fully surrounded, maybe it's a bit of a different story, but we'll see. Hellblaster volley guns still singing into the deep and doing some great damage here. A little bit of miss micro with those Chaos Dwarf Warriors. Obviously, it's a very hectic fight. There's a lot going on, so hard to keep track of everything. But they should have been able to shut down this other Hellblaster volley gun, but in this case, they're probably just going to get wrecked there. The Dowie do reclaim objective number 1. The middle does belong to the Empire. Another net going to be going down from Marcus Chadhard as the Outriders and Marcus are going to be zeroing in on the Sorcerer Prophet. How many times must they teach you this lesson, old man? And I would imagine this guy's actually pretty old. I think dwarves live to be like 500-600 years, and the Sorcerer Prophets obviously have probably longer lives, augmented by their magic and their worship of Hashut. Of course, at the price of eventually turning into stone, which is not an ideal outcome there. So Hellblaster volley guns still online for the most part, man. 2 of them are going to be singing into the back, probably getting some good value. We got about 1,500 on one, and the other Hellblaster volley gun's only about 600 value, but it's been pretty impactful here, because when you shoot things with artillery, it also applies a penalty of being shot by artillery, so just every little bit of DACA does matter. Empire has got this objective more or less on lock. The Dowie Tsar infantry, with the Sorcerer Prophet, Flames of Asgore, if he can drop one right here, might be enough, but now we got Bull Centaur Renders coming in. Now, the Renders will be good against Cav. They're relatively subpar against infantry units, but I mean, beating a Free Company militia unit, oh, that was a cool shot. Yeah, artillery support is one way to do it, so yeah, they're still killy. 114 weapon strength is 114 weapon strength, right? And the Free Company militia getting hit by literally some modern weaponry, a rocket coming in, is a pretty big deal. And the Dowie Tsar infantry, as we did anticipate, got the job done. So yeah, what I said was on lock here a minute ago certainly changed when the rockets came in and we saw the Bull Centaurs advancing. So the Chaos Dwarves, using their technology advantage, do get this far side objective. And let's go ahead and look at the points. We do see the Chaos Dwarves sitting at 994, so pretty well ahead on points. And now it's getting really dangerous, because the Chaos Dwarves can win on just one objective now. Outriders in the back here are going to be shooting at the Deathreakers. and might be able to drag it down. We'll have to see. The 2 Hellblaster volley guns getting some good crossfire. Definitely shooting at the Bull Centaur renders would be an ideal target. Demogryph Knight halberds are called out for the Sons of Sigmar. And where are the Bull Centaurs going to be going? Ideally, luring them into open field so you can get them with the Hellblasters would be the correct choice. Or the Chaos Dwarf player, if he wants to, could just artillery trade on the open map and then try and Helm's Deep on Objective 3. Granted, this would be a little bit early for Helm's Deeping, but we'll have to see. Nice play, baiting the Demogryphs with the Hobgoblins, and now the Bull Centaur renders are going to be the ones getting the jump on them. They are the danger. They're going to be knocking on the door here, and the Demogryph Knights are going to get probably torn up by that flank charge. Although Marcus's net does help a little bit. Hellblaster volley guns providing some nice supporting fire. And yeah, 2 Hellblaster volley guns can absolutely change the outcome of the fight. If they're shooting into the Bull Centaurs here, we'll come back and check that one out in a minute. Objective 1 belongs to the Empire. Objective 2 belongs to the Empire as well. They're chasing the Chaos Dwarves on points. Bull Centaur renders duking it out here with the Demogryph Knights. Demogryph Knights are, doing what they can, but fighting a big Bale Taurus Lord as well as the Bull Centaurs is going to be a tall order. But in the process, they are going to be allowing some Hellblaster fire, Outrider fire as well, is not doing terrible work. Deathfreak rocket launchers zeroing in on the Free Company Militia. They probably got some respectable value as well. About 900 right here and 900 on the other one. Dropping it like it's hot as more Empire Outriders are called in. Outriders definitely been making a bit of a comeback. I would say like the meta of a couple years ago was probably more focused on Pistoliers for the Empire, but Outriders, they pack a punch, man. Armor piercing is no joke, and it looks like they're going to be sitting down, shooting over the unpaid interns. Grenade launchers going to be clearing out some of the chaff units as well, and taking down one of these Deathstreakers is really big. I mean, he still has 4 shots left, which could make a big difference. So that bad boy is going to be paying the troll toll. Meanwhile, on the backside here, this is a contested point. Marcus moving in. Oh no, I've done that before. So he overcasted a Final Transmutation, but he had targeted the ground, probably assuming he was going to get a net. But unfortunately, he missed the Final Transmutation on the Sorcerer Prophet. That's a pretty big one. That probably was 28 Winds of Magic right there. Beautiful Flames of Asgore. Nice anti-artillery tech for the Chaos Dwarves here. And is it going to get the Hellblaster volley gun? These Sigmarites, they're disciplined artillery crews from Nuln. Looks like they've seen some horrors, and they are going to continue fighting despite a literal volcano opening up under their feet. But Marcus is getting that fire support, man, and we see the big dog getting it again. The Hellblaster volley guns are landing home. Marcus is out of ammunition. Should have brought some more arrows, but it looks like the Sorcerer Prophet is going to be retreating back into the trees, which is important because a lot of the late game for the Chaos Dwarves does often come down to Hobgoblin spam, not the infantry versions, but the cap. And if you have negative 16 leadership on a unit that has its base leadership being 45, it's very, very rough. So you do not want that smoke. All right, point being fought over here. More Demogryph Knights with halberds being called in to try and mitigate the onslaught of the Hobgoblins. But the point is in flux. The Empire doesn't really have a whole lot here, fighting a couple spearmen. Demogryph Knights going to be surging into the Goblin labor, so those unpaid interns going to be bullied a little bit. But the Demis are not really good at cutting through mass amounts of chaff units. The Lance version is way better. The Halberd version is going to be much less effective at that. But it is being overwhelmed by the unpaid interns here. Over on this side, though, the Empire is going to be grabbing this one. Very, very tight game here. And it looks like the Final Transmutation back off cooldown. So, yeah, looks like he did have some Winds of Magic in reserve. But the Bull Centaur Render is going to be taken to town. Free Company Militia, a solid piece because they'll be able to put hurt down onto the Bull Centaur Renders, but are also really good at clearing out chaff. Free Company Militia, if you just sit and shoot with their pistols, are quite excellent actually taking down things like, Orc Laborers or Goblin Laborers, those sort of things. And the objective is going to be in the clutches of Sigmar. So right now the Empire does have a triple cap. Granted, this one is a little bit precarious, kind of going back and forth here. But it is going to be taken by the legions of the Dowie Tsar. The Chaos Dwarf Infantry are in the mix, giving a little bit of a buff to the infantry nearby with the Malign Authority. But yeah, Demogryph Knights probably retreat at this point. Although you do need this objective, but I think you take your power to the middle with the Demogryph Knights and maybe try and roll him here and make sure he doesn't get this. Although, dude, these freaking Hellblaster volley guns are still online, dude. Both of them still shooting, and just, yeah, it's one way to defend your objectives. Just shoot them with enough firepower that they will retreat on their own. But is that point going to be flipping? And it looks like the gunpowder is able to save that point. Very, very big stuff. All right, Free Company Militia and Marcus Wolfhart going to be turning to meet these Orc Laborers. And Marcus is an okay fighter in melee. Like, he's got, I think, a decent melee attack. Let's see, 55, 45, not terrible. Sam and the Gold Wizard should be able to secure that objective. The middle is held by the Free Company Militia, but the Chaos Dwarves getting this outside point, this could be a problem for the Empire. If they just spam out a bunch of good quality infantry here and just chaff, maybe the Chaos Dwarves are going to be able to Helm's Deep here. Demogryph Knights, like I said, you don't want Demogryph Knights fighting against infantry, especially great open infantry on the ground. Their melee attack is only freaking 26 right now, which of course is inhibited by the fact that they're tired, but 26 melee attack against, decent melee defense Chaos Dwarf infantry is tricky. And I do think that's going to be the win condition, is them going to be trying to surge onto Objective 1 and making a final stand there. Hellblaster volley guns are still going strong. At least one of them is, so probably an unsummon. It is time for this one. Yeah, 2,400 value, though. Pretty damn good. And the Hellblaster volley guns are going to be the one thing that might be able to clutch it for the Empire in the fourth quarter. Shooting into the Chaos Dwarf infantry, moving up on the point is pretty big, and spamming out mass amounts of State Troopers and Spearmen is going to be the correct play there. Empire Knights work too. Anything that can get to that objective and provide 4 or more capture weight is going to be decent. So Marcus and the boys fighting it out, clearing out the last of the unpaid interns. You could probably take Marcus and that Gold Wizard over towards Objective 1. Is there anything defending Objective number 3 right now? Galju could just send, these guys and have them camp here, and that would be enough to fend off like a Hobgoblin Backcat probably. Nice Searing Doom from the Chaos Dwarves. Demogryph Knights still going hard on that paint. I mean, they've got a lot of kills, but not a lot of value because they've mostly been clearing out chaff. State Troopers do arrive, and the objective is now flipping, guys. Only 100 points more for the Chaos Dwarves, so getting a little bit dodgy here. We're going to see what's coming up now. We have Outriders coming. Outriders do have 4 capture weight. Chaos Dwarves going to be calling in, Hobgoblin Wolf Riders? Yeah, it's got to be the only choice they got. But the Empire might be able to clutch this one, guys. They may be able to get it done. Hobgoblin Wolf Rider Spears trying to wrestle this point, but Free Company Militia standing firm with their floppy hats. A little bit of capture weight coming in for the Dowie Czar here in the form of some Chaos Dwarf Warriors, but they won't be able to probably get through both of these Free Company fast enough, and they are eating some firepower as well. Hellblaster Volley Gun ripping into the Sorcerer Prophet. Taking him down would pretty much seal the deal, and it looks like that point does flip. The Empire does have a triple cap, ladies and gentlemen. The Chaos Dwarves in desperation mode, trying to get the points where they can. Outriders here with their long rifles doing some great work, as we do see the Sorcerer Prophet of Hashut being taken down. 2,200 value, but summoned twice, so certainly not his best run, that is for sure. And the Dowie Czar, though, got a little something going here. Unpaid interns. A huge blunder by the Empire player not having the Free Company on the objective. They should be standing right here on the edge of the objective. That might be enough to cost him the game, actually. We're going to see, because the objective is flipping. The Chaos Dwarves are getting it done. These guys need to be on the point. Looks like does he realize that, or is he just going to continue shooting? It looks like he's just going to continue shooting. But Outriders are on their way over. We do see some Empire Knights as well. The objective is now flipping back and forth as the Chaos Dwarves do get routed right there. Man, close stuff. Little mistakes making the game very exciting, that's for sure. But the Empire doesn't need to hold this triple cap for too much longer, and that's going to be a victory for Visenland and Nuln. All right, guys. GG. Well played. Super, super fun match. And big shout out to our boy Dimwitted One for sending in a loss. What a true homie. But yeah, it was fun. I mean, there was a lot of mistakes on both sides, but that's good teachable moments for all of us, and also made the game very fun. I loved it. Like, the other Hellblaster volley guns could have been shut down if he had just rallied those Chaos Dwarf Warriors and moved them onto that instead of over-chasing with them. Little things like that. Also, the Deathreakers, could they have targeted the Hellblasters offline earlier? It's one of those things where you're like, oh, I need to keep shooting at the things on the objectives, but if you leave those Hellblasters on, they're going to get, how much value here? 24, 2,000, and 900 on this one. But yeah, the Flames of Asgore tech is really good. I like that a lot. The Great Taurus, a bit of I don't know if I like that pick against the Empire. The Great Taurus is like a support diving piece. It is cheap, though, but Empire typically will have like wagons or some sort of artillery to shut down your Deathreakers, so they're already going to be indexed into taking down such things, right? And looking at value for the Dowie Czar, 2,200 here. Deathreakers didn't do badly. And yeah, the Dowie Czar infantry are really what carried that and almost got them back in the game. But regardless, hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. GG, well played. Great game by these mighty champions. And we will see you all on the other side.